Hey guys, how's everything going? This is JSer. This is there's been a long time since my last video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the levels of front-end engineers. So I have been working as a front-end engineer for like 8 years. So I have been working as a individual member, just building some component stuff, and then finally I've managed to lead a team of a couple of members and build a new product. So yeah, looking back at my experiences, I've managed to summarize the levels about front engineers from my perspective. Of course, it's just not the standard. Okay, it's just some reference we can discuss about. So my ideas, there are a lot of ways to summarize it. So my way of doing it is to see the levels defined by what you can build. Yeah, at last, you're paid by the company, right? So you're paid by the company. So your levels is judged by how much you can earn from the company, right? How much responsibility you can get from the company, how much you're trusted. Yeah, so what you can build. If you can build small, then just a small fraction of money. But if you can build a lot of huge huge stuff to make money for the company, of course you get a very decent salary, right? Okay, so yeah, levels are defined by what you can build. So the first level is component. So this is the junior level, I guess. Wow. So the first year, I don't know, first 1 or 2 years, when you start working as a front-end engineers, you are possibly be asked to build a component, build a widget. Of course, there are some widgets that are very super complicated. Here, what I mean is generally there's some basic components, what you're asked, and you just finished it. And then in this phase, actually, it's everything that's about knowledge, right? I started building web apps like in my college time. It's like actually not work, but just from my just want to build something for myself. So I dig, I search, I look some, I read some books, and it's all about knowledge because there are so many things that I don't know. In this level, here we are required to build a component out of the knowledge we have or we don't have. We need to learn. We need to absorb the information. Here, the technology mainly refers to the JavaScript, the browser, the web, right? HTML, CSS. Nowadays, and that might be TypeScript and some framework stuff. So yeah, it's knowledge, and then we need to make it work. In this level, we're not required to build some robust, like super fancy or super performant, or yeah, anything like that. It is okay just to make it work. This is a basic level. You're able to build component like on Facebook or on Google. Just take a look at Instagram. Maybe you are required to build a component like a button, right? Big button and change some colors, tick some behaviors when click and something like that, right? And when you click, just call some API, and yeah, that's it. So that's the component. The second level, when you are done with the building some basic stuff, but maybe you are required to build more complicated stuff like a screen. Well, for a screen, there are obviously a lot of components, right? So in order to do this, you need to know more, okay? And rather than comparing to the previous level, you are required to make some plans, right? You need, like you're getting the spec, like here we have a screen, you need to dissect it to separate different components, which one are common, which are some individual components, and maybe some UI component or some components interaction with the server side, with the API. Anyway, you need to make some plans, right? You make plans for rather a complex screen. And in this phase, you need to think about, yeah, because we have a lot of components, how should we separate, how should we design these components? Are there something that is reusable or not? This is about the code, right? Code quality. And then about performance, right? There's a lot of components on the screen. How can we make it performant? Yeah, how should yeah, anything like that, or like a SEO because of screen, right? You need to be able to search the SEO. Anyway, a lot more to absorb, and the most important part I think is to make plans for a screen. So yeah, and then okay, the third level, a flow. A flow means that like a feature flow, like for example, if you want to create a flow of user registration, it's not a simple screen can solve all, right? You need to separate screens and separate steps, or you want to make allow the users to change some settings for their apps. Then that setting might not be one screen, right? There might be multiple screens. So multiple components to a screen and multiple screen to a flow. So that's a standalone feature as a part of a whole app. So in this phase, what you want to do? Well, you need to do good at system design, I guess. So you need to design carefully how these screens glue together. It's mostly how the data should be managed, right? For a simple screen or component, you may just call an API, render, stuff like that. But with a flow, because it's cross multiple screens, how would you manage data? And if you reload it, how should the screen be guarded, or should we fetch data again, or should we store the data in a session storage or anything? So yeah, that's become much more complex. So yeah, we need to be good at the system design, about data management, and also about the UX. About in the simple screen, there's no page redirection. But now we need to consider how the pages should be transitioned, right? The page transition, and now we need to consider lazy load, right? Because when you go to the next screen, we need to give the users some feedback instantly, right? So about UX, yeah, anything, like a skeleton, everything just problems comes up out of nowhere, asking us to tackle. So this is a flow. It's very complex, and yeah. And now with multiple flows, we are able to build an app, right? So this is a level 4. So how, if a company says, okay, we have this new product, hey, you come build it. And in this level, what you required? Obviously, with the experience of building flows, you can now, okay, I'm pretty confident I can do a product design. So you dissect the product into different flows, and then you need to be able to think of a technical strategy of how we should build it, like scaffolding. You need to consider what kind of a reusable component we have, what kind of utils we have, how we handle the API fetching, and how we handle the error, and how we handle the page transition, like we said before, and how we should handle like graph, I don't know, the graph and the data caching, and the alert, global dialog system, and icon system, right? Buttons, how we should create a reusable button, and anything like that. I just summarized it into scaffolding. Like you are literally making a plan. Okay, product design is make a plan for the whole project, right? And the scaffolding means you need to make a technical plan, if there are some new members joining, you can easily just say, hey, just follow my guide, and yeah, this is just a guide. Follow the guide, and you can easily just contribute to our product. So yeah, that's it. And also the risk management. This is about actually a very important part. So in order to make an app robust, easy to maintain, you need to choose a balance between those techniques and the risk, right? Maybe it's fancy, but it's risky, and it's fancy, but it's fancy now, but it may be causing us some more problems in the future. And also the risk management means, okay, there are some different members in our team. Some are good at it, some are not good at it, and we need to consider the possibility of delaying the schedule. So at the initial phase of where you are estimating the whole process, whole development. So yeah, at least level 4 is pretty high level, I guess. So the company is trust you to okay. So hey, you choose some members, and then we used to build it. So yeah, you need to product design, scaffolding, risk management. And okay, so when it is done, it's pretty difficult. There needs to be a lot of communication skills and yeah, just everything. And last, okay, so hey, you are proved to be a good leader to lead an app development. Now the company has a lot of apps to do, right? So hey, you say, hey, okay, make a plan for all the apps, right? You might think that it's very easy because I can just replicate the whole process from one app and to another app to another app, right? But things start getting more complex at this level, because in this level, I think it's most about two stuff. One is cost and one is speed. Obviously, if you just replicating the same process among different apps, there is a big chance that you can cut the cost by how should I say it, by creating some creating some good infrastructure for the whole front-end development, right? That's actually what the company wants, your employer wants you to do. You wants you to just say, hey, make a plan for the whole apps and save me some money. Yeah, so about the cost, you might think about like everybody is talking about okay, microservices, make it or the design system or how should I say it? The internal npm, make some company level reusable component or servers or utils or anything like that. Yeah, and even if or you can say that we can build some tools like low code or no code. So that's all about cost. So keeping this in mind, we need to consider how we can just don't do something over and over again. If we can do something over and again, we just ask the program to do it. So cost, and the other thing is speed, right? This is the dilemma is that if you just say okay, reusable everything, then it tends to make the whole company move slow, right? If you want to change something, you actually change for the whole apps. That's another thing. That's the balance between the cost and the speed. So how to speed up? Well, you can see that okay, if we just refrain from affecting all the other apps, that's not a good choice, because in the end it will cost you more, right? Because like you have a version up and you only change the version for a small fraction of the apps, and the other apps are left. And when the difference become bigger and bigger, it's almost impossible to move. Yeah. So in this level, we need to think how we can cut a cost and move fast at the same time. So yeah, that's the company. That's just a safe. That's what the company wants. Okay, so yeah, that's the last level, I guess. So yeah, let's recap a little bit. First level, you're able to build a component. Yeah, it works, it's fine. And then with this experience, you're able to do some more complex components. That is a screen. And you're able to make some plans and think about some high-level problems like usability and performance. And then you're able to glue different screens up and create a flow. Actually, it's like a fully functional standalone unit of an app. And you need to do the system design, manage the data, and think about the UX. And then, okay, you are good to go to lead a team to build separate apps. And then after all these experience proving you are good at it, and you can just say, hey, please make a plan for a lot of apps. Great, so that's it. That's my talk now. So for today and in the future talks, maybe we would look into details about specific problems about how we can level up our front-end titles. Good. Hope it helps. I haven't make a plan actually for this talk. I just I created some of these slides, and yeah. Anyway, hope it helps. See you next time. Bye bye.